One of the specific things I'd like to do is ask about how religion contributes to the success sequence, theme that we've seen throughout the panel today. And I remember Brad Wilcox, just superb on the panel earlier. I know that the Institute for Family Studies published an interesting report about religious schools and the contribution they make to the strength of family life. Any observations about that? Or?
Yeah, there is tremendous data on that. I couldn't summarize all of it, but some of the data suggests that, Catholic school graduates are more likely, to have more stable marriages, to sort of live out the success sequence. And I think some of that is due, they're just immersed in that culture. So there's this very interesting study that I came across when I was doing some work for a different project a couple of years ago. And it was investigating the impact of character education programs on student outcomes. And so what this study found, I call it the do as I say, not as I do study. So what this program found, because there's a lot of investments being made in character education these days, and a lot of those investments are about taking character education programs and putting them in schools, teaching in a pretty didactic way about character. And if you have students go through these character education programs in school, and then you assess whether they've learned those values, they will do very well in the assessment. The short-term results will show that it works. But the long-term results, the strongest predictor of whether the strongest predictor of what children will do after they graduate is not what the adults in the schools or in their lives told them to do or said. It's how the adults in their lives lived. And so from a school perspective, what it taught us is the importance of living our values in our school communities every day. I can't say you must do this, I must live that. And I do think that's one of the importance. In education, we think about the tension, we experience every day, the tension between religious liberty and kind of education, right? And one of the reasons that I think school choice, and particularly keeping Catholic schools truly private, is so important is because as private institutions, we have the ability to live out our values in our school communities in a way that I think is not just important, practically, but actually has an impact on kids' lives.